Okay, great. Hello, welcome. This is our Mindset Challenge group, and we're recording this so that we can share it with others that are going to join the group. Did I go away? Let me preface with this is our first time doing this. Lara and I, we'd get on calls all the time like this, but I don't usually host them. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you, Jen.
Okay.
Okay, I'm wondering if it's me that's, okay, I'm moving.
Okay. Let me know if my internet's slow. We had an issue earlier. Okay, so we're recording it to float it by people also. But this is a new group and it's interesting, and I want to first just introduce me. I'm Jen Wade. I've been a coach for a year. My second year coaching, and I started with 80-day obsession last year with Lara, and it changed my life. Not only my fitness level, but my mindset, how I viewed life, everything about me changed after I did that program. And as a result, I decided I wanted to pay it forward with Beachbody, spread the word, and try to get as many people to experience what I've experienced. So Lara was my coach, and now I am part of her team, and we work together. And I'll let Lara go ahead and introduce herself, and then I'll jump back on what this group's all about.
Yes. Hi, I know most of you either as my challenger or you've been in groups with Jen and I, so excited to see Jen, and the same thing happened to me where my college girlfriend was doing it and I was having a hard time fitting fitness into my life. So I think Jen and I are just so excited for this group because we decided that we've been a little too light on some of you, and people are not always sticking. We're excited. So I'll let Jen's going to explain it all. But hi, I'm Lara and can't wait to go through the next 30 days.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jen.
That froze on me a little. Did that freeze from you, or was that just my connection?
So just a second, Jen. Christine and Christy Julian, echoing. Will you guys mute yourselves? We're hearing your background stuff and we can't hear Jen. And a 415 number, I think, too. Is that Carrie?
Yeah, I'll mute. I have been muted too.
Okay. Laura, yours cut out for me, so if I'm reiterating, I apologize.
Okay.
Okay, so this group is for the committed, and I'm so happy you guys are here. We have 2 groups running this month, and you have chosen the I'm Gonna Level Up path. And I am super pumped about this because Lauren, I've been trying to figure out a way to get people to finish strong and really compare the end result of the month with the beginning. And this is sort of the group where there's no excuses. Like, this is no excuse group. We are going to post. We're going to work out when it's hard, when we're not home. We're going to do our shake when we're out of town, when we're in town, whatever it is, we're going to make it happen. So I wrote down, make the commitment, leveling up, and then the expectation is not far from what you've been doing in other groups, because I think most of us are veterans here, but the expectation from us as your coaches, and I'll speak to my people individually to set your individual goals also, but every day when you have your shake, sometimes we have it and we don't log it. We're going to log it every time. Every day that we have the shake, it's going to be logged. And every day that you do your workout, it will be logged. And then we're adding another element in this group that I'm going to let Lara speak to, that kind of encompasses mindset, and that'll be in addition to our workouts and our shakes that we do every day. So Lara, I'm going to let you speak about that extra layer that we're going to do, and then we'll go on to the
Okay, so what you can expect every day, we will post it at 1 a.m. Pacific time. So no matter where you are in the country, you'll wake up and you'll have your instructions for the day. And it will have a mindset task, a nutrition task, and your workout task, which you're going to identify yourself. We're not going to give you extra. We may say, hey, try to throw some abs in there or stretch in there, but you're going to pick your workout. We're not going to dictate that. But on these tasks, don't be too afraid, because I know you all are so busy. They're not going to be more than like 5 or 10 minutes, and like some of it might be thoughtfulness and driving in a car and you could think about it. It's not like we're going to ask you to spend another 30 minutes on top of your workout. But what we advise you to do is maybe this weekend or right before we start, take a look at your calendar and write in your calendar, is your workout 30 minutes? And then tack on another 5 or 10 minutes and schedule every day for the next week when you guys are going to do this, so you don't come up with the I didn't have time today excuse to yourself. And so what we'll have in there is a mindset task. And for example, it might be one of the first ones this week because it's on the top of my head. You're going to write down, say, 3 things that you like about yourself. Okay, so how long will that really take? But we want you guys to start getting in a positive and, proud frame of mind, and that you guys deserve this and that you guys can do this. And then the nutrition task will be as well. I mean, I'll warn you, at the end, we might ask you to do a little meal prepping or something as your task, which might take a little longer. But no matter what, in the nutrition stuff and maybe even the mindset stuff, we might say, put on the calendar, do this next week. Like plan on meal prepping, but get it in your calendar next week. At the end of the day, you can check off you did it as long as you got it in the calendar. It might not mean that you actually do the meal prepping that day, or maybe we say go for a hike with a friend. It might not be done that day, but you can report that you completed the task because you got it on your calendar and you have a plan to do it in the future. So I hope that makes sense. One thing that we kind of thought it might be nice to have, I moved my computer and left it, but it might be nice to use like a journal that you keep all this in together, because we'll be asking you to think about why you're doing this and write that down and stuff. If any of you are doing Ultimate Portion Fix, you could even use your daily task journal and write it in there. But just somewhere where you can keep all these thoughts together as we daily give you ideas and thoughts that we want you to think about and kind of put pen to paper. And then I think that's kind of what to expect every day. So we're going to have it there first thing in the morning. It doesn't have to be done first thing in the morning, but just know that you'll know what you need to do so you can plan your day accordingly. But we promise it's not going to take much longer than just your workout. So, Jen?
Okay, so that's sort of what makes it, what adds to the elevated part of the group, right? Is we're going to encompass the mindset part, which isn't going to cost you too much time. And it's really going to, I believe, and Laura believes, have a massive impact on how you feel going through the month, and also have a massive impact on your retention, like staying in the game till the end of the month. Okay, that's the whole goal here. Like in my head, you guys are kind of the elite of the group, right? Like you've made this step, and I'm super excited to get to the end of the month and see the results of how everybody feels, not just with their goals physically in their workouts, but how they feel about the tasks that they did over the month. So super simple, but we wanted to get together and be like all together and kind of see each other if we can. But the next 2 things I want to go over are the app and then the nutrition part. The app, we're going to do a little bit, it's a little tweak in the difference of it. I'm going to put it on, hopefully I'm taking up your main screen. But I want to remind you that every time, I've sent invites to my people this morning, every time you get onto a new challenge group, you have to reset your notifications to make sure they're all pushing through to you when you have comments and when people post. So hopefully you can see this because I'm small in my screen. Can you guys see my phone with the light?
I can see it, Jen. Okay.
So Laura's already posted to put your measurements on here, but what I wanted to go through was really quick. Cancel it out. Here's the group. I have a lot of groups. Okay. So I hit group feed, and up here on the corner, you want to go to settings, and go to notifications down here. Hopefully you can see it. Notifications, and make sure everything is swiped to blue. Hopefully you guys can see that. But in addition to this, you guys, make sure you do your measurements in your picture. And when we do this is different from other challenge groups. When we do our post, the coach post that you will wake up to every day, somebody's coming in. When you do when you see our coach post and you see what is expected of you that day, in terms of the mindset part, when you reply in the comment section of that coach post. So that way, when we go back, everybody goes back and looks. It will form a more like cohesive way to come into the challenge group and look and see how everybody has completed and what they got out of it, instead of having to scroll down and look for each person individually. So you'll be posting your shake and your workout, right, every day as usual. But when you see the coach post, make sure when you execute those tasks, you hit the comment section and do what you're supposed to do from there. Does that make sense? Because whereas most of the time people are just doing a random post and then it's just kind of all over the board. So we're posting in the comments for the coach, whatever the call to action that day is, and there will be one or a couple every day. And then make sure all your notifications are pushed to blue. So that is part of this elevated group, is all the posts will be together. We'll all be seeing each other. There will be no question if you've worked out or had your shake or committed or executed the tasks for the day. Laura, I'm going to have you go over nutrition, and then I think we'll open it to questions and then we can wrap it up.
Okay. Can you guys hear me? I'm getting slow reception.
I can hear you.
Jen, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Or everybody shake your head if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes. Laura, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I got thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is nutrition, which if any of you have been in my groups, you know that that's my jam. I know there's a handful of you doing Ultimate Portion Fix, which is awesome because you guys are getting all the, hi, Allison, I just saw your
Thanks.
Fix is telling you guys exactly what to do, and you guys probably are down with it. If any of you guys need help with figuring out your nutrition before we start May 1st, reach out to your coach. But what we want you to do is make sure that you take your measurements, take your weight, and do your calculations for what your containers are going to be ahead of time so that you can start planning.
I lost you, Laura.
Same here.
There you are.
It's Laura. I just left. Am I back?
You're back.
You're back.
Okay. Sorry. So basically,
Are you there?
measurements, figure out what eating plan you should be in, and kind of identify that before we get started. And remember, your measurements, you can put them in this app as well. You can record them in here so you have a place to keep them to be able to compare in 30 days. I know nobody likes to take their measurements, but it's awesome after 30 days when you really see how the change has occurred. Kind of like Jen said, I want to show you something on my phone, but I know it's hard. But this is, let me get those lights out of the way. This is the BOD app. And in it, I want to remind you guys all about the Fixate channel. So in your member library, scroll through and look for Fixate right here. It's a picture of Autumn and her. Now you'll see workouts, and it's basically under workouts are all these videos that look like the cooking show, if you will, but nobody has time to watch these videos. I know you don't. But if you click on the top here where it says materials, and we can write this out for you if somebody's like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember what you did. Under materials, Fixate recipe list. it essentially takes you to the cookbook itself, where it's all written out and you have all hundreds of recipes. So you go into the recipes and you can click on each individual recipe and it will give you all the ingredients. So you don't have to watch the cooking shows. And on top of it, the best part is each recipe then goes through and tells you your containers. Oh, you know what? I know there's a glare and you probably can't see it, but it will go in and say this recipe is a red and a yellow container. So it's going to really help you make good choices when it comes to your nutrition. So I think that was one of the big things I wanted to do, is just remind you, because I think everybody forgets about Fixate and how those recipes can really help you cook for your family, but keep you on track with your containers. So did I get everything, Jen?
I think you did. Yeah.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, that was one thing. I just wanted to know if anybody has questions now that maybe the whole group can benefit from on the nutrition, the containers, on Ultimate Portion Fix, anything like that. You can unmute yourself if you have a question.
It's Carrie. I don't really have a question, but if people can share what they're cooking, like especially for dinner.
Okay.
I always love getting inspired by what other families are eating.
Okay.
I think that's my hardest thing too, is I can do the workout just fine, but it's then like planning the meal and getting I can follow a recipe. I'm great at that, but the creative part, like when it's 6:30 at night and I got to go to lacrosse and all those things, it's like the quick fix meals are the better things for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I know in the past, both of you have been in groups where I've shared that tracker. Do you guys have that? Do you guys look at that and go, this just doesn't make sense to me? Or if I repost it in this group, do you think it would help you think ahead a little bit? Or
I think the tracker would help. And then one of the first ones, Laura, that you had done where you posted like the egg cups and you had different recipes and chilies and fajitas, like that was great. I could print that for my husband to cook ahead of time, or myself, or even the girls.
Okay, so that I think was our back to school group that we gave a whole month of recipes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That I really liked.
We can add all this stuff to the files section and you guys can kind of dig through it and see what things worked for you there.
Perfect.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Anybody else? Okay. If you guys always, of course, feel free to reach out to Jen and I, equally or on the side or whatever too, and we can help you with that as well. And then just in our nutrition tips and stuff, we are going to be asking, think about water, think about what your greatest spice is and skip it for the day or whatever. Just general health stuff that we kind of forget about at times too. We won't always be forcing you guys to follow the containers, but I think you all know by now when you do get the best results. So, and also we all have the sports at the end of the day and stuff like that. So maybe I'll try to come up with like a list of the best like reheat meals or crock pot meals, things like that. Cause I know I do a lot of I cook them a day ahead. And then when we do get home from sports, we just reform it. Obviously not a dream dinner, but it's at least healthier.
Yeah.
And
then if I could pack the leftovers for lunch the next day for the office.
Yeah, that's why I love crock pot soups and stuff, because maybe you have family dinner, but then you have lunch for you at work the next day too. So
yeah.
Okay, great tips. We'll try to work on that stuff for you guys as well. Anything else, Jen? Oh, you know what? I did forget, actually. I'm realizing when I was talking about the thing, we are calling this a challenge. We ultimately want to challenge you guys to stick to yourselves and this commitment to yourselves. But if you do it for 30 days, Jen and I might have a little prize at the end for you too. Obviously, the best prize is we're hoping you feel better and we're going into summer feeling awesome and maybe establishing a better, stronger regimen for yourself, because we all know the summer will just get crazy. But there might be a little gift in there too if you guys stick to it. So we've got to see you posting every day in order to be eligible for that. So.
Perfect. And I just want to follow up with, this is like the first group of its kind like this that Laura and I are doing. And we're super open to feedback on how it's coming across. And if you're feeling like the engagement's good, as it should be because we're committed. But I just really want I want this to be like where we're all feeling like you can text your coach at any time. We're 100% committed to you to make it through 30 days. And just want you to know that we're here and excited. And I'm really geeked about this one. So.
Oh, you know, and sorry to interrupt you, Jen, but also it's a smaller group, guys. Like as of right now, we only have 20 people. If any of you have some outside friends that you think might be ready to start this journey or whatever, there is room for more. But I want you to know that, like, we really hope you guys support each other too, because there aren't as many. You're not going to be getting as many notifications of posting and all that stuff because it is a smaller group. We don't have tons of other coaches and stuff in it. So please support each other and comment on each other's posts and stuff too. So we really feel like a community. And I know a few of you have told me, like, you may not post as much, but you do go on and look and see that other people work out, and it makes you want to go do your workout and not skip it. So now we're making you actually post that you did it too. But just remember how you feel and how you do feel motivated when everybody else is kind of talking and rooting each other along. So we hope you support each other as well.
Right. I would say that'd be the biggest difference for those that are my challengers is I'm going to be on there every day, and if I don't see or hear from you, you're going to be hearing from me.
Yeah.
Like within 24 hours, I'm gonna be like, what happened to you? Where are you at? Like, let's stay on track. Like, because that's what we committed to this month, right? Like, that's what I'm about. So.
Totally agree.
Okay.
If you have any questions about how the group's going to run or what is expected of you, I know a few jumped on late and we can go over that, but not just nutrition based, but any other questions at all? No?
Okay, well with that, I'm going to take this call, and I'm new, but I think I'm going to convert it to a YouTube video. That's my goal. And I'm going to post it in our group. And then hopefully that goes well. And so you can reference it in the challenge group. But yeah, feel free to go on to the challenge app that invite you and do your measurements. And we'll probably be posting a day or two before May 1st, which is like the day after tomorrow or something like that. We'll be starting activity in there. So that's all that I have for me. Do you have anything else, Lara?
I don't think so. Anybody else have anything?
Nope.
No, just thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thanks for taking time out of your day. Now go enjoy it with your families and get ready for us to bust your booty in a couple days. And we did send invites out this morning for the group, so you can get on. We'll start loading content in a couple days, but at least you can get in there and start recording your messages.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye, guys.